Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Elyse DeLucci Show, episode 91. We are here in my living room on the Upper East Side. How you doing? Fact of the day. Jordan almonds, besides the fact of who eats those things. You know Jordan almonds, maybe I need to clarify this for all the non-Italians listening. Jordan almonds, a candy-coated almond, one bite and you break your tooth. One bite and you got a $10,000 bill at the dentist, okay? But Jordan almonds, fact of the day, the Italian people, we give them out at weddings. We put them in a little pouch, 5 almonds, and we wrap them in tulle, usually tulle, and we tie it with a ribbon, and we put it on the table, usually as a little wedding favor or token. And I didn't know this. I gave them out at my wedding. I didn't know this. Each almond represents something for your life, your new married life, and it's happiness, health, wealth, fertility, and a long life. Did you know that? That's the fact of the day. I had no idea. Isn't that funny? How we do traditions, but sometimes we don't question them. I mean, I don't want to get into a whole thing because, lots of people just do things that they grew up with or their parents, taught them, or their parents instilled beliefs and they don't question them. And I'm one of those people with the Jordan almonds. Who the hell knew? But apparently also that I read about Jordan almonds is that because, it's like, why candy-coated almonds? Like, they're disgusting. I don't know who eats them. And I apologize if you eat them. But they're apparently we do Jordan almonds as opposed to a regular almond because Jordan almonds are bitter and sweet. So that's supposed to represent the duality of married life and represent the hope that with the sugar coating, the couple is going to have a life that's more sweet than bitter. And the egg shape of the almond is supposed to represent fertility. I feel like when I read that, my mind was blown. I don't know if your mind is blown right now. All I know, okay, was, and how this whole thing came about is I was on stage and I was just, at a mic, and I was just sort of riffing about weddings, Italian weddings, and one of the things I was talking about was Jordan almonds, and then, any good comic or any aspiring good comic is going to research their jokes, or because you don't want to just go up and make up shit to people. I mean, that would be terrible, right? So, when I got home, one of the days, and I was thinking about the bit that I was just talking about, just the all the wedding things, ridiculous wedding things we do, I decided to look up Jordan almonds, and that's how I came about this. And I did this. I gave out Jordan almonds, 5 little almonds, not in a tulle piece of fabric. I had them in a little small candy box, like a little, I had them made, and it said, Tanti Grazie, love Elyse and Paul, which is my ex's name. And which these days I'm calling him Paulie the Tooth, but that's besides the point. And yes, he's British, but I did the little almonds in the box, and I did them because my grandmother was like, you gotta give out the Jordan almonds. All right, so I gave the and that's that. I actually don't think I gave any other favor. I didn't get married too long ago, I'm married and divorced, but I got married maybe 11 years ago now, and that was just the favor. Like, when I got married, this sounds silly and ancient. When I got married, Instagram wasn't around. Pinterest wasn't around. We had Facebook. I literally feel like a grandmother, by the way, saying this. But that stuff wasn't around. So I didn't see all the little things that people give out at weddings. So I did whatever my grandmother, my mom was like, and basically for a favor, we did this Jordan almonds in the little box. But now, I go on Pinterest or whatever, and I see the most amazing wedding favors. People are giving out, boxes of truffles and cake knives and all this fabulous stuff. And I remember the store, the one-stop shop where they sold the wedding dresses, and they had favors there that, you could order from a catalog. But I was like, I'm not going to give out like a $10 per piece butter knife, like who's doing that? But I, they do. And now, maybe I should have given out something else. But anyway, I learned that, and I wanted to share it with you. When I go to my grandmother's house, she has Jordan almonds just lying around. And I don't know if she just collects them from weddings or if she generally likes them. But I don't know who actually eats them. We don't eat them. You know, if you're Italian and you're listening to this, you don't get to the wedding, get through the whole meal, see the Jordan almonds on the table and are like, oh, delicious. Can't wait to take a bite of that. Never, never. Anyway, we're going to get to our TV talk, but in a bit. But one of the shows that I started watching was Pam and Tommy on Hulu, which is really good. And Lily Allen is playing Pam Anderson. It's dirty. It's a little dirty, though, so you can't watch it in front of your kids. But Pam Anderson, you know, Lily Allen in the show, she has the bangs, the Pam Anderson bangs. And I was watching the show. I'm like on episode 2, and I was like, I want bangs. Like, I go through these phases. If my girlfriend Denise, if she's listening, she'll know. I go through these phases like every 3 years. I have to have bangs. It's ridiculous. Like, I got bangs when I was pregnant with my second daughter. And I don't know, like, there's nothing, it's cute, like a big pregnant lady, jolly and giant with bangs, you know, looking like with a little baby face. I mean, it's cute, but like on the flip side, there's also nothing more disgusting than somebody sweating and dry heaving and 50 pounds over their normal weight with bangs sweating on their forehead. You know, like, I don't know. I do the bang thing and then I automatically regret it. So I was talking to Denise and I'm like, you know, what am I going to do? Like, I love bangs. And she, you know, of course she's like, you going through something? And I'm not. I just like the look. So I decided, so I said, you know, Nate, why don't I get clip-in bangs? Why don't I try clip-in bangs? She's like, that's a good idea. I went on Amazon to try to buy clip-in fake bangs. And, you know, I just know from ordering a Barbara Streisand wig that I returned, and also a Liza Minnelli wig also that I returned. It's just a waste of money. I mean, what am I doing? I mean, look what I'm doing with my life. You know, like, I mean, I love my life, but I mean, wigs are coming in the door now, synthetic wigs. I mean, come on. What, to play dress up? Come on. So I returned the wigs because they were synthetic and they were awful. So I just knew the $16.99 synthetic clip-in bangs was going to be equally horrific. They did sell human hair bangs, but then I get into the whole vortex of, but whose hair is this? You know, like, is this like a dead person's hair? Is this person, they didn't donate their hair to like Locks of Love. I think that actually goes to chemo patients, but nobody's donating their hair to some nice charitable cause. And then it winds up on Amazon for $19.99. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is like probably hair that came from a crime scene. I don't think I want that hair, you know? So I was in the garment district the other day and I'm stopping by. I'm stopping by. What am I saying? I'm in the garment district the other day because I had to go to a doctor for my my car accident because, God forbid, Geico gave me the money. Can you imagine? It's been 3 months since I had a car accident at the end of last year. I'm fine. Concussion. Memories, who needs them? Overrated. But anyway, I got the car accident, and I still didn't get this goddamn money from Geico Insurance, which I'm changing, by the way. If they're listening, sorry for you, but they won't let me cancel my insurance until I turn in the plates. I got to do that. They won't pay me out on the car until I have my appropriate address on the title of the car, because I had moved when I got the car like 10 years ago. So they haven't given me money. And now on top of, and it takes like weeks to change a title. And then on top of that, they won't give me money until I get like some physical. So I had to go to the garment district to get a physical from some doctor, Fugazi doctor office. I mean, listen, the doctor was very nice and the office was clean and fine, but I have to go to the garment district. I'm on like the 4th floor of like a button manufacturer going to the doctor. Anyway, after I left, I saw right next door there was a wig store. So I went in and I said, "Oh, you got clip-in bangs?" And they didn't sell them, so I didn't buy the clip-in bangs yet. But that's, you know, that's a good workaround. Why chop your hair and then you're stuck with it? Just get the clip-ins. And besides, I've been auditioning for some roles, not actively auditioning at all, but I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't actually say even auditioning. People in stand-up comedy, as you can imagine, they're very creative, and some people, and I'm a comic. I mean, that's it. I'm a comic, but I have friends that are actors and screenplay writers and all this stuff. And lately, knock on wood, because it's good luck. Some people that write parts for Italian girls, or if there's Italian women in their screenplays or their scripts, they ask me, hey, you want to play the role? And of course, if I read it and I like it, I say yes. And it's so fun. Like, I like to read at night, and it's so fun in the night, instead of reading a book or whatever. Like, I get to read the screenplay. Like, some people are like, oh my God, this much take up so much of your time. It doesn't. Somebody gives me 130-page screenplay. I read it in a night. It's an easy thing. It's like 10 words on a page, and the stories are always really fun. And the roles for the women that I would play, it's like my real life personality. So, or a piece of it. So it's not, I don't want to say it's not hard work, because it would be when you get into filming and all that, but it's fun. And it's not such a big divergence from who I am. So anyway, I get to do this kind of stuff. And and my girlfriend's like, one of my girlfriends was like, you can't, it's going to hinder any kind of thing that anybody wants you to play if all of a sudden you show up with the bangs. And I'm like, right. Good point. Which is why all the celebrities, they wear the wigs. They wear the wigs because they can't afford to Kim Kardashian can't afford just to chop her hair off. What if all of a sudden Christian Dior calls her and says, we want you to be the spokesperson for our new makeup or hairline, and we need your hair down to your ass. And then she had just, chopped it off to her shoulders and dyed it blue. Then all of a sudden, there she goes. She's out her $10 million or whatever ridiculous amount of money. Anyway, so I guess since we're talking about the TV thing, we should do our TV talk for the day. Pam and Tommy on Hulu, really good. Didn't know what an asshole, okay, Tommy Lee is, drummer for Motley Crue. Amazing drummer, Motley Crue, so good. But oh my God, if he's anything, if it's anything like what in the show, if the show is true, I only have seen the first 3 episodes. I'm horrified. He's adores Pam, and he's the life of the party, and everyone loves him, and he's so talented in the whole bit. But the way he's treating the people doing construction in his house, or his house for him and Pam, is horrible. But you'll watch it. It's good. The Tinder swindler. Okay. Oh boy. You need to watch The Tinder Swindler on Netflix, like tonight. Like the second, you just need to watch it. Because so I saw a meme on the interwebs, and I sent it to also Denise. And it was just a picture of this fancy looking guy sitting in like a plane or a private jet. And it was some funny caption, I don't know. So I sent it to her, and she writes back, oh my God, did you watch the movie? And I said, no. And and she tells me, oh, watch it, it's crazy. So that night I watched The Tinder Swindler, and it's about, the app Tinder, and I'm not going to do any spoiler alerts here, but it's basically about the girls and guys. We all go on these apps to date or meet people, and a bunch of girls met this one guy, and the title kind of gives it away. He basically swindles them out of stuff, and he's seemingly normal, seemingly has this normal, extravagant life, and you just can't believe the things that he asks these girls to do and the things that they say yes to. And we all know that we're blind in love and we're stupid in love and stuff, but I mean, come on. Wait till you see it. Just you wait. But this victim shit can happen to anybody. I did a video about it online. It was funny. It went viral on TikTok, which was fun, but and one woman wrote, you're a horrible person, you have no class, and you're making fun of these poor girls, and they're victimized. And it's like, okay, first of all, relax, don't get your panties in a twist. It's a comedic video because I am a comedian, but it is sad because people do get victimized. But I mean, I don't know. Do they not talk to their family or their friends? Do they just keep everything in a vacuum, these people? Because surely someone in their life has to say, you know what, I think this guy might be taking you for a little joyride. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. The other show that I started watching, also in the same vein of swindlers, is Inventing Anna. I'm only on the first episode, so I don't want to talk about it too much. I'll talk about it after I'm done with the show. But it's a real story, and you could read the article. A few years ago in New York, or years, I don't know, maybe 5-10 years ago, in New York Magazine, and I think who is it? Something Pressler, Jessica Pressler, Anna Pressler. I don't know. One of the writers at New York Magazine wrote an article about a girl in Manhattan that went around saying she's, comes from all this money and she's this big socialite, and she mingles with all the socialites and these CEOs and all these philanthropic, fabulous society people of New York, all the names you would see in the social register. And she just blends in with them and tells them, I guess, what is our stories. And it was an article, and it, everybody read it, and now they made the show about it. So I'm only on the first episode, but it is so good. Inventing Anna. Dying to go on a vacation. I gotta be honest with you. I am absolutely dying to go on a vacation, like a proper vacation. I took the girls to Long Island last year a few times. We went to Montauk, went to East Hampton. I took them to Florida. My mom has a place in Naples, but I mean like a proper 5-7 day vacation in the islands. And I don't even want to go on, and I was supposed to go to Italy at Christmas, but I canceled that. That would have been nice, but that would have also been not so relaxing. I just want to go somewhere, drop my bags, put on a bathing suit, lay on a chair on the beach, and have somebody bring me stuff. I just feel like I need that. I haven't gone on that kind of vacation since 2018, if you could believe it. And it's everything. I started a new job. It was the pandemic. It was the homeschooling. It was just it's been crazy. So I spent some time looking, places to go. I know a lot of the hotels. If you have any recommendations, by the way, please message me. What I'm looking for is something that's all-inclusive, and I'll tell you why. All-inclusive and just in a beautiful location on the beach. I want to stay on the beach. Like, I want to look out my window and see the ocean, or know that I could go downstairs or wherever, and it's going to be right outside the door. I want all-inclusive, not because I think the food is so fabulous at these places. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to have anything to think about. But here's the thing. I started looking up vacations, and the COVID requirements of these places, it just stresses me out. Like, I get it. Like, if you book a vacation to Aruba, St. Lucia, or St. John, whatever, like, you get there and you got to get a PCR test 3 days within landing. Like, I'm sure once you're there, it's just something that you do. The hotels and the resorts, they probably make it easy for you. But I just want to go on a vacation and, like, not have to deal with stuff. Like, I want to run away, but there's nowhere to run away to, And, I thought about, like, maybe I'll just go to Florida, back to Naples, or, maybe even South Beach. But I don't want to go and get a car and deal with all that shit. I don't know. Years ago, I went to Costa Rica. I've been to a lot of places, but years ago, I went to Costa Rica. So I had this thought in my head, maybe I'll go back to Costa Rica. Instead of a beach holiday, I'll just have a rainforest holiday. I'll just, stay in a rainforest and wake up to the monkeys at the door, and and I'll just relax like that, get massages, and, And the place I stayed at years ago is still around, and it was so great. You should check it out. It's called Rancho Pacifico. It was fabulous. You stay in these tree houses, and there are these open-air tree houses, and there's screens. And when you wake up, literally, the monkeys of the Costa Rican rainforest are there, and all kinds of animals. It's like, you can't even believe where you are. You can't even believe where you're staying. And it was absolutely wonderful. And it's still around, and there's some other places like that I saw. A place called Oxygen Villas, another place called Nyara. We're walking for a second, by the way. I'm picking my equipment up. I have to walk because I need to get my charger. And so those places, they're around. I thought about that, but then, you know what? I would have an amazing time in Costa Rica, me and the monkeys. And then I would probably come home and say, I'm ready for a beach vacation. So I'm not doing that. But I am looking for all-inclusive beach. Let me know. I had my first show at Slattery's Midtown Pub in New York. If you are in New York and you were there, oh my God, some of you were there. Maria, you were there. There was another Maria. There was lots of Marias, a lot of Marias. If you were there, oh my God, thank you for coming. But I had the show at a pub in New York called Slattery's. They have an upstairs, and they are letting me put together a weekly comedy show, and it Friday nights, and it's so fun. It was great. The first show was great. You learn a lot of things when you're putting together a comedy show. Like it needs more lighting. The tables need to be, more spaced out and just stuff like that. I really don't have any interest in producing a show. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to get the flyers out and make sure people are seated and they got their tickets and they're paying at the door. And then all of a sudden you're putting together the lineup of comics. And then, bam, you got to go perform. It's like for the first minute of my set, I was like in my head like, what am I doing? Because I had all these other things, whatever, right? So it's difficult, but it will get easier, and it's fun, and it's a nice place for comics and myself to work out. And some of the comics, Jason Salmon, that was there, I think he went up second or third. He's a regular at the Comedy Cellar, which is, one of the best clubs in the country. And Olga Namer, she was there. She's funny. She's an Orthodox Jewish girl from Brooklyn, one of my good friends. She was on the lineup. She's not at the Cellar, but she's around in other clubs. Her and I are actually doing a show at the end of March, so stay tuned for that. Not at Slattery's. We're doing it at a club, and I'll tell you more details when I have them. But the date is March 30th. But yeah, so it was great. Great comics on the lineup. Got to work out a few things, but it was fun. Thank you for anybody that came. How was your Valentine's Day? Did you get anything good? I don't usually I'm not crazy about Valentine's Day because I really don't like price fixed menus, why am I going to go to your restaurant and you're going to charge $50 and you're going to give me 4 options on the menu and they're all going to probably be smaller than your regular menu, smaller size portions than your regular menu. I don't even know if they're going to taste that great. And I know that sounds so misanthropic, right? I'm not misanthropic. I just want to go to a restaurant and just have a regular menu and just wear whatever the hell I want. Valentine's Day, it's just too much. It's too much. But I did go out a couple days before Valentine's Day. I didn't want to go anywhere super fancy, but I did go to one of my favorite restaurants on the Upper East Side, Match 65. It is a very nice restaurant. It's a French bistro. It's on 65th and Madison. It's on the side street. It's one of the best French restaurants in the city, in my opinion. The vibe is great. The food is delicious. I had steak frites, skirt steak with French fries. I that's just what I wanted. I had a piece of chocolate cake for dessert because I really only like to eat dessert, and it was great. It was great. My boyfriend, he bought me a pretty necklace. That was very nice of him, a gold necklace. To be honest, between me and you, it's very difficult to get guys to understand your style, I like it. Listen, I gotta video the podcast. I gotta, what am I doing not videoing the podcast? I gotta do it. Anyway, I like it. I do. I like the necklace. It's very nice. And it actually looks beautiful on. It's a short kind of necklace. It's not long, and it lays flat nice, on my neck. And it's very, light. Not cheap gold light. Not hollow gold light. It just feels light on my neck. Sometimes those necklaces that are short and they lay on your neck, they don't dangle or they don't have a pendant. Sometimes they feel like they're choking you. This doesn't feel like it's choking me. It's just that, I probably would have picked something a little different. I didn't have the heart to tell him. I'll never tell him. He probably knows. Well, now he knows, and it's fine. I love it. But here's the thing. I think I made a big effing fuss about him having a jeweler, like saying, you got to get a jeweler. You got to get a jeweler. I can't handle anyone paying full price. Not that he was buying me jewelry at this time, but I said, you got to get a jeweler. So he got a jeweler. And the thing is, I don't know where he got this jeweler from. You know what I'm saying? The stuff, it's nice. It's nice. It's nice, but I don't know. I got better jewelers. You know what? He needs a jeweler in Long Island. If you have one, any of the Long Island ladies listening, do me a favor. Just send me a number. Not somebody that's so crazy expensive. Like they could do lots of different things, But he's got this jeweler, and I'm sure she's a lovely lady, but he's always telling me she has all this, the fake, she makes like the 14 karat gold, 18 with the diamonds, all of the fake knockoff stuff. Oh, she makes the Cartier bracelets, the Tiffany key necklace, the Van Cleef, Clover, and I don't want that. If I wanted a Van Cleef Clover, I'd go to Van Cleef and buy it, I wouldn't, but you know what I'm saying. If I wanted a Tiffany key necklace, I would go and get it. I don't want it. I just want something nice. I like yellow gold. And I feel like sometimes these jewelers, they do more in the white gold, I like yellow gold because, I just do. I've always liked yellow gold. I think, where the yellow gold came from? I used to do white, but I'm not really a silver person. I'm more like a gold girl, like my house got a lot of gold leaf around, you know what I'm saying? And when I lived in Italy, when I was young, 19, I remember I was in the south of Italy. I was in Sorrento and Capri, and I was on the beach, and I saw all the Italian women. They were so fabulous, fabulous women, sitting out in their beach chairs with their big families, and their big giant loaf of Italian bread, just bathing in the Mediterranean. And they all had these gold jewelry on, so Italian. Yellow necklaces, watches, yellow gold, bracelets, the rings. I loved it. I remember loving it, the yellow gold, against the glistening tan skin, the Mediterranean, the family, all the noises. It was just it was a vibe. You know what I'm saying? I loved the vibe. And I remember at that point being I love yellow gold. And I had yellow gold stuff from when I was young. But so anyway, my point is that he needs a new jeweler, and my guy, Tommy Raz, is in New Jersey, and I don't think that he's going to drive all the way to Raz should he want to get me something. So he needs something in an area where he is, which is Long Island a lot, or in Manhattan. Otherwise, I'm just told him, go to Bloomingdale's, okay? Go to Bloomingdale's. I know, look, I'm not complaining at all. It's very lovely. I just like what I like, I want to, enjoy the things that I have. I do. I really do. Anyway, Central Park sent me an email saying that for Valentine's Day, you can name a cockroach. Can you imagine? And you could get it printed on an official gift certificate, and they'd mail it to you for Valentine's Day, in time for Valentine's Day, with free shipping. Name a cockroach. If my boyfriend got me a cockroach named after me, I would have thrown it back in his face. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. But, yeah. I'm just, I don't get it. I don't get it. One thing I want to tell you is I read an article that was so funny, not haha funny, interesting, making me think funny, on Vox.com, and it was called Comedy's Existential Crisis, and it was about should comedy be funny, and I thought that was so interesting. It was about stand-up comedy and how some comedy is just you're supposed to watch it and just be taken away into another world, that person's point of view, and just, let your worries melt away for the day and laugh. And then other comics that were other comics feel that they need to talk to you, almost give you a TED talk and see the way that they think about the world in that kind of way. And in this article, Whitney Cummings, she had this quote, which I thought was interesting. And she said, comedians did not sign up to be your hero. And she wrote that really in response to the Joe Rogan situation. But she also wrote, as comedians, it's our job to be irreverent and dangerous, to question authority and take you through a spooky mental haunted house so you can arrive at your own conclusions. And she says, stay focused on people we pay taxes to be our moral leaders, right? So she's basically saying, like, comedians can have any opinions and thoughts and whatever they want and leave them alone, and that's who they are. But, and I agree with that. But in terms of, comedians, our job is to be irreverent and dangerous. I don't really know if she means that in the literal sense. I think that she just means maybe to, be funny about it. But I don't know. The article goes on to talk about how comedy today is almost more like this TED Talk, and and comedians are almost like educators. And here's the thing: maybe that's the trend, but that's not what I do. My version of comedy and my take on the article, and you should read it. It's called, like I said, Vox.com, Comedy's Existential Crisis. My thought on comedy is like, this is who I am. This is my life. It makes me laugh. Other people seem to find it humorous, so I'm just going to go on stage and tell you all about it. And there might be topical things that I'll talk about, but it's like the Tinder swindler. Or maybe it's the fact that every time I go to Target, all the shirts in there are half shirts, or what's with the chunky white sneakers, or high-waisted jeans. I mean, it's like, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking, light, so, kind of womanly, fun, relatable. Relatable to me. I don't like to go and sit in a comedy club and hear people preach to me or talk politics to me. For me, that's just not what I find funny. I want to hear about how girls, they're not getting their nails done and going on first dates. Not because I don't understand the other stuff. Not because I'm not interested in the politics or the hot button issues or gender norms and all this stuff. It's not because I'm not interested in that. When I watch comedy, or the comedy that I like, I just want to have my worries taken away. I don't want to go and have my mind ignited with hot button topical ideas and issues right now. That's not what I want to do. If I want to do that, I'll read the newspaper, I'll watch a TED Talk, I'll watch a documentary. But for comedy, I just want to laugh. That's just it. I loved Roseanne Barr in the 80s. She goes on stage, I'm a boring housewife and I never get to do anything and I never get to go anywhere. I loved her. I like Richard Lewis. He gets on stage and, he's like, oh my God, and I touched the pole at the subway and I'm dying and I'm freaking out and he's a hypochondriac. I like that. I like it. That's my take on it. Anyway, a couple of things I want to tell you before we go. One is, I was also reading a great article about how women over 50, and I'm not over 50, but women over 50 don't get a lot of airtime on TV, and that's one of the reasons why, obviously, the new Sex and the City reboot is so popular, because not just because some of the stuff is so painful to watch, but not because, the writing is this season or on the reboot, or it's because these women, they're not represented properly. Over 50 women, you don't really see them around. We have the Golden Girls. We have, there were some shows, but there's not really a lot of that stuff. So there was an article about giving love to more of the over 50, and particularly over 50 style. Like I said, I'm not this age, but if and when I'm lucky enough to turn 50 one day, I would cry if all of a sudden the world forgot about me and I should just walk around unstylish. So there's this woman in the start of the pandemic. She was quoted in an article, and I checked her out, and you'll love her. Her name is Carla Rockmore. Check her out on Instagram, Carla Rockmore. And she's a lady, I don't know where she lives. I think she lives in Texas from what I saw from her post. She's over 50, and she just has a lot of cool clothes and a really cool style. And her whole Instagram is just her modeling her clothes and putting together outfits and just talking. And she's cool. She's just a cool older lady, if you even could say 50 is older. And it got me thinking after I read this article, there's another woman that I love. on Instagram and TikTok, and she's also over 50, and I've been following her for a while now, and she's like my style icon. She's Italian. This lady, you got to check her out. Her name is Simona Bertolato, and she lives in Italy. I don't know who she is. I don't know what she is. I don't know who she is. I don't even know how I found her. I like clicked, and one day, like a year ago, I just wound up on this lady's page, and I was like, oh my God, she has the coolest style. I don't know if she's a fashion designer or a stylist. Her name is Simona Bertolato. Her handle is Sissioto Style. SISSIOTTO Style. Sissioto Style. Look her up on Instagram. This lady, to me, it's really like my taste. She has the coolest style. Big pants, chunky shoes, nice stilettos, big cool glasses, big bracelets. I love big, big things. And I've been following her, and I only really dawned on me the other day when I read the Over 50 Style article, and I heard about this Carla Rockmore, that I was like, oh my God. I have a style icon that I love on the internet. I don't know this girl, this Simona. I wish I did, because she's just super cool. But I feel like whatever she does is probably cool. You know, I like want to know more about her life. She's probably just cool. Anyway, okay. Product of the day. Last week I was talking about AliExpress and some of that stuff I found. And so in sticking with the theme, there is a jewelry brand on AliExpress. Well, it's not a brand. It's just, it's one of these manufacturers. The company is, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Ovas. It's OEVAS. If you go on AliExpress, download the app, AliExpress, and you type in OEVAS, they sell all the moisty you could want. Moissanite. I'm probably saying it wrong. My sister's like, that's not how you pronounce moissanite. I'm like, all right, well, when I get to a jeweler, I'll ask them how to say moissanite. And if somebody wants to send me a phonetic pronunciation, that's fine. I'll take that too. But that's the brand, is OEVAS, and they make these moissanite studs for $30, and they get so many reviews, and I ordered them. They didn't come yet. They're like, I don't know, half a carat or 1 carat. I think they're 1 carat moissanite studs. And I don't want to wear my jewelry out anymore after I just went on a whole rant about my boyfriend finding a jeweler. I love jewelry. I love to wear it, but the city is horrible. I said this, like I've been saying this, listen, it doesn't matter whether you're wearing real shit or fake shit. If somebody wants to attack you and they think that you have money because you have jewelry on, they're not going to get out their jeweler's loop and say, this isn't a diamond. Let me pass and go on to the next one. No. But when I say out, I mean like whether, even if I'm on stage or even if I'm at a party, like right now, I just don't really feel comfortable wearing my stuff. So I'm like, let me get some of the moisty. So I got ordered the earrings. They didn't come. I'm super excited, though, for them to come, and I can't wait, because if they're anything like the reviews, they're going to be so sparkly, and they're going to look so real. So, yeah, $30, 1 carat, moisty studs. And the other thing that I got on AliExpress, not for adults, but if you have children or like to get little kids, little tchotchkes, they arrived, and they were great. I bought the kids a bunch of sunglasses, really cool sunglasses, for 89 cents. Can you die? They were like a few pairs were 89 cents, and some pairs were like $1.50 on AliExpress. And the brand is Focus Norm, FOCUSNORM. It's a store. It's like a children's store. They have clothes and sunglasses and accessories. I bought the girls some sunglasses. I'm going to buy them a couple little outfits from this Focus Norm. I'm sure the quality is horrific because all the outfits are like $4, but it's okay because, it's $4. I'll buy 2 outfits, see how the quality is, and if it's good, I'll order more, and if it's not, fine. My kids, they're getting older. They're like, Mommy, we want like cool stuff. Like, stop buying us baby clothes. So that's that. Those are my products of the day. I love talking to you, and tonight, because it's Thursday and I'm off of work today, and tonight I am going to be at the Parks Casino in Philadelphia with Nikki Smiggs. I'm so excited. I'm going to be doing an hour, 50 minutes of stand-up. It's just me. It's just him. And we are going to have so much fun. Parks Casino gets a lot of big acts out there. It's a big place right outside of Philly. It's in Ben Salem. So if you're listening to this and you want to come out tonight, you're more than welcome. I'm also going to be in Pennsylvania again on February 19th. I'm going to be with Mike Marino at the Raz Room in New Hope, Pennsylvania, but in between those things, I'll be at Slattery's on Friday in New York. I have a show coming up at a club on March 30th where it's going to be just me and my friend Olga. It's going to be really good. Girls' night out. It's during the week. It's like on a Wednesday, which kind of sucks, but, beggars can't be choosers. And I'm around. And I have exciting stuff to tell you about this documentary that I've been working on, but we'll save that for another time. I'm always excited to talk to you, and I'm always even more excited that you're listening. I'm Elyse DeLucci. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on TikTok and all that kind of stuff. And our quote of the day today is by Richard Bach, and it says, to bring anything into your life, imagine that it's already there. I love that. Manifestation, baby. I will talk to you next time. Have a great week. Mwah.